While much attention is given to the costumes of old and new money characters in HBO's The Gilded Age, the downstairs staff often goes unnoticed. In my Gilded Age videos, I've consistently praised the well-executed portrayal of the servants. Costume designer Kasia Walicka-Maimone emphasized the importance of representing the working class, acknowledging the need to give due respect to the world of the servants alongside the rich characters. In my next two videos, I'll delve into the costumes of the Brooke and Russell households. To provide context on New York servants during the Gilded Age, I've consulted the research of Esther Crane, author of The Gilded Age in New York, 1870 to 1910, and the founder of Ephemeral New York, and the Vanderbilt Mansion National Historic Site. I'll leave links in the description if you want to learn more. There might be some mild spoilers of The Gilded Age Seasons 1 and 2. To start, let's have a look at the Brook House servants. Compared to the new money millionaire household of the Russells run by a large staff, the old money household of the Brook House has a staff of just 5. Mr. Alfred Bannister, generally referred to as Bannister, is the British butler to Agnes Van Ryn's household. Crane writes that a reported 16% of the population of New York City worked as a servant. They came from all ethnic groups, many were Irish, German, or Scandinavian. To put everything into some context, the butler, along with his staff, oversees crucial responsibilities within the household, including the management of household silver, serving both afternoon and evening meals, attending to guests at the door, and maintaining the dining room and pantry. Specifically, the butler assumes the role of caring for the wines, ensuring they are stored at the appropriate temperature for consumption. This requires the butler to possess executive ability, self-command, and an air of dignity. Uniformity among servants is maintained through the adoption of a dress code known as livery. Most servants have distinct morning and afternoon or evening uniforms, typically provided by the family. In the early part of the day, the butler and his men don a businesslike suit comprising of gray trousers and a dark coat paired with a black tie. As dinner service approaches, the butler switches into a more formal suit complete with tails. Bannister has 2 looks. His day ensemble resembles morning dress, featuring a morning coat, a matching waistcoat, and high-waisted striped gray trousers, a style originating from 19th century gentlemen's morning horse rides, characterized by a cutaway front, single-breasted morning coat. Paired with a white shirt with a starched detachable collar secured by collar studs, cufflinks, and a black bow tie, Bannister's look is elevated by a gold pocket watch and fob. His evening livery consists of a black tailsuit with a white tie. Notably, the double-breasted waistcoat sits lower than his day attire, but departing from the traditional white piqué vest associated with white tie and tails, as seen on Oscar Van Ryn. John Jack Trotter holds the dual roles of footman and useful man in the smaller Brooke household. His responsibilities likely include maintaining the dining room by polishing floors and tables, managing table linens, and keeping silver polished. The footman also serves during lunch and dinner, attends to bells and the telephone, adjusts shades, and prepares trays for tea service. Meanwhile, the useful man, as described by Crane, is a versatile servant adept at various tasks such as bringing wood for the fireplace and fixing things. Similar to Bannister, Jack has both day and evening livery. His cutaway coat and vest lack the notched lapels seen on Bannister, instead featuring a partial stand-up collar with braid trim and buttons. The solid black color reflects a subdued style, contrasting with the vibrant hues and metallic accents often seen in royal and millionaire households. Jack switches out his black tie for white for the evening and adds white gloves for dinner service. Jack's civilian outfit includes a brown 4-button, 3-piece sack suit, striped shirt with an attached round collar, and a necktie. He finishes the look off with a cap and cap-toe boots. Jack also has a silver pocket watch. If you're new to my channel and you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing. If you are returning and would like to support me so that I can continue bringing you content, I've created a Patreon with 4 different levels beginning at $3 per month. There is a free trial right now and you can try it out for 7 days. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in my description. Miss Armstrong is Agnes Van Ryn's lady's maid and enjoys an elevated position among the staff of the Van Ryn household. According to Crane, the lady's maid servant handles her mistress's toiletry needs, her clothes, and various tasks associated with her social engagements. Additionally, the lady's maid is constantly at the beck and call of their mistress 24/7. Armstrong keeps her look very simple with just one outfit that works for day or night, maybe owning two similar black two-piece ensembles with a slight difference in the velvet collar. Her style is unfussy, featuring a subtle motif print on the dress, minimal white collar and cuffs, and straightforward buttons. Completing the look, she wears a gold brooch with a miniature cameo center and matching cameo earrings, perhaps family heirlooms or gifts from Mrs. Van Ryn. A few additional items seen on Armstrong are a lady's watch fob, gold-rimmed reading glasses, and sleeve protectors worn when she's doing the mending. Mrs. Bauer is the kindly housekeeper and cook in the Brook household and a German immigrant from Hanover. As a housekeeper, Mrs. Bauer has authority over key household materials and expenditures. Her duties might include hiring and supervising the female staff, paying their wages, keeping the household linens under lock and key, managing supplies, and ordering food for the household. Bridget is a maid for the Van Ryn family. She carries the combined duties of a housemaid, kitchen maid, and lady's maid. She's an immigrant to the United States from Ireland. Crane writes that Irish girls and women served in a domestic capacity because other positions tended to be shut off to them in the 19th century. And interestingly, showrunner Julian Fellowes named the Brook household maid Bridget, as Irish servants were often mocked as Bridgets. According to Crane, along with the duties of the lady's maid, the housemaid would be assigned to a specific room or suite of rooms responsible for dusting, bed making, plus airing out bed linens, cleaning and sweeping embers from the fireplace. Dressing Gilded Age Cooks and Kitchen Help blog post states that in the morning, a cook's attire in the late 19th century would start with split drawers and a seasonal camisole. After donning wool stockings, a petticoat, and a loosely laced corset, she would finish with a modest dress, sensible shoes, and a clean apron. One item of clothing missing in HBO's The Gilded Age, on the old money and the new, and also likely on the servants, is a sleeveless corset cover. This protected the petticoat or dress that rubbed up against it from chafing and wear. In the Brook house, Mrs. Bauer and Bridget do not adopt the practice of changing outfits for formal evening appearance. The Gilded Age costume designer said that the residences, such as the Brooks house, followed a practice where many servants received fabric as Christmas gifts. Subsequently, the servants crafted their own clothing using these fabrics. The similarity in the fabrics was due to the common source, allowing them to fashion their dresses, resulting in a palette that was somewhat alike. The styles were more traditional and classic in nature. In seasons 1 and 2, Mrs. Bauer sports two simple yet elegant dresses. One in unbleached cotton with a blue floral motif, adorned with blue velvet trim and lace on the collar and cuffs, and the other in unbleached cotton featuring a floral print with mustard yellow velvet accents on cuffs and patch pockets, along with natural cotton lace trim. Notably, close inspection reveals visible wear and tear on the velvet cuffs. Mrs. Bauer completes her attire with an unbleached cotton apron with a bib fastened to her bodice, a mob cap, and a possible bum roll or soft bustle beneath the skirt. Bridget complements Mrs. Bauer's style with two light cotton two-piece ensembles, one in soft beige with a tone-on-tone striped pattern and a purple floral motif, and the other in off-white with a gray-green leaf motif. Both dresses are likely created from the same pattern, featuring button front fasteners, bodice gathers, and a touch of lace on the stand-up collar. Bridget accessorizes with a half apron and mob cap. In a scene from season 1, while following Jack to the cemetery, she adds a camel cover-up and straw hat to her uniform. She also has an off-duty look like this plum purple cotton printed ensemble that she wears to the movies with Jack. She complements the look with a straw hat, crochet knit gloves, and a reticule. Now, without a scullery maid or laundress, I presume the household relies on commercial laundering for clothing. According to the Gilded Age Cook's blog, while the servants' undergarments, including petticoats, undergo laundering, dresses are only spot cleaned due to their finer, more delicate materials that cannot endure frequent washing. Now, I'll be back in the next few weeks with a video about the staff in the Russell House. In the meantime, check out my video on the jewelry and crowns from the Gilded Age. If you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for spending time with me. I'll see you in the next video.